are going to start our second panel, which we have representatives from some of our higher ed and LCTCS in the building. They're going to talk to you a little bit and inspire you and talk to you about their training programs. They're going to kind of talk to you about what they have to offer, not only from the standpoint of a four-year college degree, but also the certifications that our previous panel talked about. So if you have a moment and you want to come in and kind of get comfortable and join us in the seats, please feel free. I'm going to call up our panelists now. We have Chuck Crabtree, who is the Director of Advanced Manufacturing from North Shore Technical Community College. We have Dr. Tina Tenney, who is the Chancellor at Nunez Community College. We have Dr. Matt Barrios, who's the Professor of Practice at Tulane School of Science and Engineering, and Dr. Patrick Moyer, the Interim Dean of Southeastern College of Science and Technology. Please join me in welcoming our panel. Turn this on for you guys. I'll give you guys this. All right, panelists, thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us. I explained earlier, we are videoing these panel discussions, and we're going to utilize them to also share with our high school students. We know that our high school students, they're at a critical point in time where they're really trying to make decisions about what they want to do, what options they have for them after school. So I'd love for you to kind of also take that into consideration when answering some of our questions, because teachers will be able to download the links that we're using for these videos to really share with their students to help them make informed decisions. So can you talk to us a little bit about what type of course offerings do you currently have that would be of interest to students that want to pursue careers in aerospace, advanced manufacturing, or any other career pathway?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm Chuck Crabtree. I'm with North Shore Technical Community College. I'm also an adjunct instructor at Southeastern. And as far as that goes, the previous panel was talking about just having a kind of a wide array of skill sets that are available for different job opportunities. We have, of course, your traditional welding, electrical, HVAC. All of those actually require a lot of dedication and attention to detail and things like that. And of course, I'm a former math teacher, so I always like to push the math aspect of everything. I think math opens doors for all students whenever you study math and you understand it, how it actually applies. So I would say, to young people looking into it, just keep learning. Keep learning about everything you can that you're interested in, because you want to be passionate about what you're working on.
Right.
We do have an advanced manufacturing program at North Shore. We just started it this year. It's small but growing. We're really excited about that. And then, of course, there are workforce opportunities to continue your skill building even after you're graduating from whatever program you're in. We do have students that come to us that really don't want to go to a full four-year university. They'd rather go straight into the workforce and get trained. And then others do. They want to go ahead and transfer. So there's lots of opportunities there for everybody. I think probably the most overwhelming thing is having so many different options. My son is a high school senior, and so he's trying to think about, what am I going to do with the rest of my life at the age of 17, right? It's kind of hard to make those decisions.
Right.
But my advice would be just, keep learning and surround yourself with smart people. So.
Thank you, Chuck. And thank you, Suzanne and Tri-Parish Works, for coordinating this and the opportunity to really share who we are and what we do. For people who are looking for courses that tie to opportunities in aerospace or advanced manufacturing, we not only have individual courses, but of course we've packaged for an entire program. And I'm very proud to tell you we have at Nunez Community College the only aerospace manufacturing technology program in the state of Louisiana. So many people are not aware that we have that opportunity, but we worked very closely with our business and industry partners so that we developed a curriculum that is pertinent and relevant to their needs and to the future needs of where aerospace manufacturing is headed. So for students who are interested in that pathway, as Mr. Crabtree said, if students are unsure of maybe where they want to go, but they want to move into advanced manufacturing, which of course means that you will be employed because we need people who will have those skill sets. So we have a program that packages electrical and mechanical skills assembly tied to all of the safety that's necessary for working in those types of environments, along with knowledge around the composite materials that are used in that manufacturing process. So students can come in to our program, and after 24 credit hours, they would receive a certification. It's a certificate of technical studies. That immediately makes them eligible for work in the workforce. They can continue their path toward a technical diploma in aerospace manufacturing technology on their way to an associate degree.
Awesome.
Then they have the opportunity, they can go again to continue to have upward mobility in the workforce, or they can transfer to a four-year institution as well. So those skill sets are really important on the hard skills. We also couple that with the soft skills that are necessary to be employed and remain employed in today's labor force. And so we're very proud of the programs that we have, multiple courses that can lead to advanced manufacturing as well as specifically the aerospace technology manufacturing.
Awesome.
Thank you. Matt Barrios from Tulane University. Again, thank you to everyone who makes this opportunity possible for us to talk to you all. At Tulane, we are more focused on the four-year ABET accredited programs. And part of that is becoming a licensed professional engineer. So if you're interested in engineering, building things, designing things, being at really the heart of what drives the innovation, it might be for you. And aerospace itself is a very broad field. You have mechanical aspects, materials science, you have electrical aspects, even chemical and propulsion, things of that nature. And I think Tulane's offerings really gel with those. Not only do we offer many of those fields, but we also offer the flexibility that many other programs do not. Tulane, you don't actually have to declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. Most engineering programs out there, you have to go into a specific school and you have to stick with it, or it's pretty difficult to transfer out into different areas. At Tulane, we allow the flexibility. If you're interested in mechanical engineering, for instance, we have an engineering physics program that offers a minor in mechanical engineering. We have students that come out, pass the fundamentals of engineering exam, and become licensed professional mechanical engineers within 4 years of graduation. Although, if you decide that, okay, I don't like my mechanical coursework, my mechanics of materials and statics, but I really liked electronic circuits, then you can switch over to that pretty easily. Or you can even decide, you know what, aerospace is not for me. I want to design biomedical devices. Well, we have a program for you there. So we have lots of flexibility and some really high-powered opportunities that are coming out of this. We have students every year, even though we don't have a traditional aerospace discipline, our engineering physics students are allowed that kind of flexibility. So we have recent graduates at Textron, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, NASA, SpaceX, you name it. We have students that are going to all of these places. And we can really help you to get there. It's a smaller school in terms of students per faculty member, so you get a lot of personal attention, and we can help you to get to where you want to go. You can even start as soon as in high school. We have a Tulane Science Scholars Program that offers many different courses in science and engineering that can start you on that path.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's really good to know.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you also for having me. An honor to be here and with this prestigious panel. So in the Science and Technology College at Southeastern, we have a few options for manufacturing and specific to the aerospace. We have a dual degree program now that it's less than 1 year old with We had one with UNO. Now we also have one with LSU. It's 2.5 years at Southeastern, 2.5 years at LSU, and you end up with a physics degree from Southeastern and either mechanical or electrical engineering degree from LSU. Also, we do chemistry and chemical engineering. And then in our IET, which is industrial and engineering technology, we have about 15 different programs. In the industrial technology, we have design drafting, automated systems, supervision, and welding technology. In the engineering technology, we have computer engineering, construction engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical, and mechatronics. So the mechatronics is mechanical, electrical, and computer, kind of a combination. And then we have the OSHA, which is the occupational safety, health, and environment. And so I think one of the things that's really strong about Southeastern is not just the thing we like to say is that students leave with way more than just a transcript and a GPA. Their resume is uniquely theirs, and so we provide opportunities for students to find their passion and have a story, find their STEM identity, find their, whether that's manufacturing, whether that's environmental, whether that's doing undergraduate research. We have one group that does a NASA project every year, and they design an experiment that they go over to Wallops Island in Virginia and mount their experiment to a NASA rocket, and they do measurements in space. So very cool individual things that they can do. And just to piggyback on something that my colleague said, we all know each other because I come from North Carolina, and the ecosystem in Louisiana is really pretty special. The relationships with workforce development, we don't compete for students. I mean, we want the students to find their unique path.
Absolutely.
And we work really well together for students. Students go from their place to ours, from our place to theirs. And so it's about them finding their space. And so, Chuck said it well, just get started. Just get started. And then the last point that I would really emphasize, it's probably the most important message we send, and that is to students in high school. Don't stop taking math, because once you start with us, the very first thing, I don't care what your major is, the very first thing we're going to ask you is, where are you in math?
Yeah.
And you think you're done because your high school said you're done, but then you get to us and you have to pay for math classes that you could take in high school for free. So just please keep taking your math and take your English, and then you're just going to hit the ground running. I see a lot of heads nodding over here, so I'm glad. So that's really and then then just just follow that journey, and you'll find your space.
I love it. What strategies and tactics do you use to identify ways that your institution can be responsive to area employers in those industries to ensure that they have a reliable and skilled talent pipeline?
I'll start this time. Yeah, this is really something that's really important to us. One of the things, ABET came in and did an accreditation for one of our programs this year, and the thing that impressed them the most was our industrial relations. That's huge with us, so we start there. We just had a conversation with Dave not too long ago about, that's really the message we're trying to give to companies now is, think of us as not as Southeastern Louisiana University, but as your organization's university. Tell us what you need. Let us be responsive to you. Like, we want to provide something that adds value for you. We have certain constraints with accreditation and with topics and content, but those relationships are huge to us. Yesterday we had Tech Connect on campus, and we had about 50 some employers for our students, and the employers all said, your students are so well prepared, and they already know our students because they've been working with them for years, and we have very close relationships. So we're very strategic, and when we hire faculty, we make sure that we have faculty who have the skill set to interface with industrial partners. I think we all know that not all faculty have that skill set to interface, but we're intentional about that because those relationships matter. So that's kind of that's a big part of what our culture is at our universities, to make sure that we can maintain those relationships and listen to how we can serve.
Right.
And then I'll stop and let the others talk.
I love that.
Yes, so at Tulane, we try to connect with industry on many levels. As a professor in the engineering physics department, one of my roles is sort of professional development liaison. And so I teach a professional development sequence of classes, which ends in an internship for the students, which they're responsible for getting on their own, and also for coming up with capstone projects, many of which are associated with industry sponsors. And so it's my job to find those industry contacts, and it's a real boots on the ground process, going to the Society of Mechanical Engineering meetings, being on the IEEE, that's the electrical engineering board. There's a society of two-lane engineers that I'm a part of, the Louisiana Engineering Society. And many of these are available to students as early as when you start college, maybe even have some high school programs. So that's a great way to connect with local students as well as industry members. And in talking to them, you find out, okay, this is where our shortfalls lie in terms of who we're going to need to employ, what kind of coursework we need, possibly even projects that we're working on that we can help with on either the research side or actually attacking that kind of thing with students. Another thing Tulane has is a great network of recent alumni who are all over the nation and even all over the globe that we can tap into for some of the companies that I mentioned previously and kind of all over the place. So we still bring our students to do site visits locally, but we can put them in contact with a nationwide network of students who are doing some really high-powered things.
So your question was about strategies and how we use that for responsiveness to our industry needs.
Right.
That being said, as I mentioned, when we built the curriculum, we began with a roundtable discussion about what their needs were. And, you know, I've been in academia for over 26 years, and I have heard the conversation shift pretty significantly, where curricula used to be devised, programs would be created, and we would tell the employers, this is what we have to offer. That's not the conversation anymore.
Right.
We are sitting at the table with our industry partners and asking, what do you need?
Yeah.
And they are informing us because the light of the you know path at which they work is exponentially at the speed of light, right? And compared to how we can develop things. So it is incumbent upon us to be very nimble in our curricula design and programming. Sometimes that means customized training and programming for industry needs. But for the programs that we have, the curricula is built with industry at the table. We also have advisory boards for all of our programs so that we have representatives from industry partners who are helping to align with the program, support the program, and be able to advocate for the program and work with our students. They'll oftentimes do mock interviews and so forth so that they're preparing students for when they graduate to be successful, to be employed. And, you know, we also, as I said, I think the most critical thing that we do is share the information with other employers, because many of the skills that we provide in a 2-year curricular path, when I mentioned electrical, mechanical, assembly, composite, safety, those are transferable skills.
Right.
So even though for the manufacturing, we have aerospace technology manufacturing, they can move into other advanced manufacturing employer opportunities. And so it's important that we stay connected with all of the industry partners, and as I said, just listen to what their needs are so that we can respond accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course, I would echo what everyone else has already said. But of course, we do have advisory panels, both at Southeastern and at North Shore. And that's critical. We have to listen exactly to what the employers need. And their needs, like was mentioned, their needs do change. They're fluid. It depends on the economy. It depends on situations on the ground, basically. So we do need to be flexible and be able to adapt along with them. The other thing about this is that we also enjoy networking with all of our employer partners. So we've had some opportunities like Go Engage, for example, where they come to the campus and they actually have a meeting there where the sole purpose of it is for networking amongst the business partners. But of course, we get the benefit of being able to talk to them about, okay, hey, what do you need? Do you have internships for our students? Things like that. And then just this week, we were fortunate enough to do a tour of Elmer's Chocolate, which is in the heart of Ponchatoula. So it's a world-class facility in mechatronics, and you might not know it driving by on a small town on a little road, but it's actually pretty impressive when you go inside. So we were they were gracious enough to give us a tour, both Southeastern students and North Shore students, to be able to go there. And it was kind of a focus tour on those students who were specifically interested in mechatronics. So that's the other thing, is kind of getting business and industry partners to tell us exactly what they need, and what their needs are translate into what our skill set needs to build.
Perfect. So that kind of allows me to segue into my next question. Considering you all have access to your local workforce development boards, how do you utilize us? And then, if you do, in what ways? And then, lastly, how can we be more beneficial to you?
Sure, I'll start. So Tiffany Fowler, who's our North Shore representative, I don't see her over there right now, but she helps our students with resume writing. She helps them with finding jobs and internships. She's constantly working with Tri-Parish Works and Go Jobs and our other, because we are spread out amongst like 5 parishes. So, but yeah, so, and as far as that goes, we also have a summer career academy that was started by Dr. Carlson, our chancellor, a few years ago. And Tri-Parish Works has been instrumental in that, identifying students who may have kind of some questions about their career path, or may just be undecided. And maybe they're a little bit older, maybe a little bit self-conscious about coming to school. And then during that experience, they actually get to sit in on classes and understand, here's what we do, and it's very low key and very, very receptive. And they find out what their interests are that way, and what they're not interested in too.
Right.
So if they'd had that when I was in school, I would have been all about it. Tell me about all of these different programs. So that's another way. And then we also do, of course, job fairs and things like that, but also outreach programs with elementary schools, junior highs, high schools. We did one in Slidell with Tri-Parish Works, and it's really a good opportunity for very young students to start thinking early about what they want to do. It's not that they have to make a commitment, but again, with the math, I'm going to plug math all the way through this, they really need to understand that it's super important to stick with it all the way through.
Workforce development is what we do at our college, and so to work with a workforce development board, we have to be hand in glove, because truly our relationships are symbiotic, right? You provide opportunities for people to go to work. We're providing people with degrees and certifications so that they have the credentials that make them marketable for work. We are very proud to say that we have Tri-Parish Works located on our campus. And I'll also share that our average age of student at Nunez Community College is 24 years old, and that has actually decreased a little bit. It was 27. It has decreased because of the number of dual enrollment students that we serve. So we're giving students opportunities so that we can prepare them to earn credentials and have employment opportunities out of high school. But also it shows at that average age that we are reskilling and upskilling individuals and incumbent workers who also need a different skill package. I will tell you that the necessity for our partnership is to provide opportunities for support services, oftentimes for people to be successful. I hear so many times people will tell me, I want to go to college, I just can't afford to. And my response to that is a standard one: you can't afford not to.
Right.
And the reality is we have so many scholarships, institutional aid, federal packaging that's available, along with the wraparound services that you all provide, oftentimes for transportation, childcare services, things that people really aren't aware of.
Right.
And so our partnership is critical, and critical that we make people aware of what those opportunities are when we can do that in partnership.
I would say that events like these are one of the biggest impacts for workforce development, because you bring together the workforce development folks as well as industry and educational providers. And honestly, that's something that's hard for us to do. As I say, boots to the ground, trying to go and individually meet folks from industry and talk to potential employers and employees. And events like these are really a sort of gym for us, because now I'm really excited to go walk around the room and talk to all the employers and help, having Tri-Parish Works, put this together is a real boon for myself in addition to the prospective employees here. So I want to thank again you all for this opportunity.
Perfect.
So at Southeastern, our relationship with workforce development is pretty strong. I would say there's a daily conversation between us and LED at the state level, St. Tammany Corp. Or Tangi or GNO Inc. GNO Inc. has members on our advisory board,
Right.
and it's actually their workforce coordinator. So these are things we're doing, pretty much every day. And so I think, and you say, what can we do? So the biggest, I love these relationships, and the best thing that the workforce development agencies can do is just keep thinking of us, call us, right? Just keep having a conversation. Let's, hey, we're doing this event, we're doing that event. Invite us. That we get a lot of grants through those relationships because they think of us, and it's a good partnership. And so I would say the best thing is let's just keep talking, keep communicating. If there's some, I think the easiest way to get somebody's attention is to help them get better. So if you have a mission and you have something that you're working on that you need to get better, call us and see if we can help make you better, and that's going to make us all better. So, I just always encourage people to think about their goals and mission and see how we can help them, because that's how you're going to, get people. That's how you're going to build a relationship. And one very specific thing we do is, or two things. We have what's called the STEM Scholars Program, which is a program we started last year with 30 underrepresented high school students. It's an immersive, comprehensive, project-based thing. They work with our faculty. They get free ACT prep, free FAFSA prep, and it was so successful the first year that now we're up to almost 200 students and about $500,000, and we've spread from one parish to, I think we're up to 8 parishes now. So we're really excited, and that's a big part of that is the relationship with the workforce development. And then on the 26th of April, so this is a plug, I need help. On the 26th of April, we have about 300 students coming to Southeastern for a workforce symposium. Basically, the idea is to share with high school students and their families what kinds of jobs are available and what skill sets are needed. And then after that, they'll do breakouts with us and with North Shore on what are some of the programs that exist that they can get there in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And so we have a panel, and I still need somebody from some expert from advanced manufacturing. So if anybody wants to sit on a panel on April 26th, let me know.
Let you know.
Yeah.
That's right. So I want to also take this opportunity to encourage you all not only to work with our American Job Center, but within our American Job Center, we have business service specialists. And their main job is to work with business and industry. So I want to kind of introduce Don Shea and Luann Jarrow. And then we also have someone from, I think, the state level that operates our region, and it's Stephen Pacho. I'm saying it backwards. But these are people that you can also reach out to when you need assistance with people in business and industry. They have so many contacts that they can probably put you in contact with somebody, right? So I want that to also be a partnership. And because they talk to business and industry, they also are boots on the ground and hear a lot from employers about what they need and can help kind of even bring that back and communicate that to you. So that's just something I wanted to just kind of plug and throw out there. So my last question for you guys is, do you coordinate programs with each other? And if so, what types of events do you do? And then how do you work with area high schools?
Okay, so my previous position at North Shore was the director of STEM outreach. So we saw over 40,000 students in the last 3 or 4 years. We've gone out to high schools, not all over the state, pretty much in our region, but we have ventured down here to across the lake a few times. But yeah, so that's part of it. And in terms of working with our sister colleges, we definitely have worked very closely with Nunez with the mechatronics apprenticeship program over the last, 5 or 6 years or so. And we're really excited to have some of our mechatronics apprentice people here. And they are getting ready to graduate this summer, so we're super excited about that. And just the collaboration aspect of it. We know that Nunez has some strengths that we can tap into. Same thing with Delgado. Delgado has their strengths as well. And whenever we play to each other's strengths, that always helps. We're looking to try to improve the experience for our students. It's not a competition. It's really about the students. And the same thing goes for our institutions of four-year institutions as well. We want to make sure that we're collaborating with them so that we get the latest and greatest research. We get information and sharing back and forth with our faculty. We've got several of our schools have STEM trailers or mobile labs that they can take out to the schools. And even if it's just a tabletop activity, real simple, when you're connecting with parents and students at the same time, going out into gyms and things like that, that way, you're actually getting a chance to show what you can do and also answer questions directly from parents who are oftentimes very concerned about what do you offer and how much is this going to cost my my child to go to your school. So yeah, I could go on, but just one little tidbit. During the pandemic, we were able to repurpose our trailers, and one of them actually went to a local hospital, and it was a kind of a screening center for Slidell Memorial. So the purpose of that is basically community, giving back to the community, making sure that we're a part of the community. We're not just some standalone institution. So that's what we're about.
Piggybacking off of what he said, it's so true. Competition, it's not a competition, right? My background was actually biological sciences, and I tell people it's cooperation will beat competition hands down every day. And that has really been demonstrated across our educational institutions. We have a lot of educational diversity in our region for people to choose from. And I have seen a very high synergy and level of cooperation among our sister institutions. I think the mechatronics program absolutely is our shining star. And this is one where we do play off of our institutional strengths so that students go to courses, experience courses at each of the institutions, Delgado, Nunez, and North Shore, and rotate so that they're getting the strongest package of skill sets that we're able to offer with the resources that we have. And in terms of our four-year partners, we are always looking to have our students have upward mobility. Oftentimes people don't know where to start, and we encourage them to start with us. It's just a smart decision financially. Logistically, we are very accessible, and we oftentimes can start a pathway for them to be able to continue in a progression. And so we work closely to make sure that our courses are all accredited so that they can transfer at the appropriate time and that they have the best experiences between all of the educational resources that we have to offer in our region.
Yes, I think cooperation is absolutely key in collaboration. We have some 3+2 programs, 3 years at a local university, transferring to Tulane for an extra 2 years to get the degree from Tulane. We have that agreement in place with some others. And we also are open to collaboration with other local colleges and universities that we don't have an official connection with. And then on the K-12 outreach, Tulane School of Science and Engineering does a number of things. Our students are all required to do a two-tiered service learning program where, as part of one of their classes, they go out and do some outreach in local communities. That might be in robotics clubs or Lego League, if you've heard of that, or First Robotics. Also getting into classrooms and doing everything from tutoring to running projects in classes or doing science fairs, things of that nature. So the students actually have to go out and do that, and that's part of their co-curricular piece. But we also host events. We have Girls in STEM at Tulane event that is for some of the younger girls out there to get them really excited about STEM. We have the boys, it's called BATS, Boys at Tulane in STEM. Very similar activity, get them really excited about STEM paths and STEM careers. All the way up into, in my capstone course, we offer a part service learning where our students go out to first robotics clubs and mentor the students to help them actually get their robots together. Everything from just, how do we raise money to actually water jetting parts for them because they don't have those kind of resources on campus. In addition to that, we host the Greater New Orleans Science and Engineering Fair and provide judges for that. And we also provide judges for First Lego League and First Robotics Challenge, things of that nature. So we really have a big K-12 footprint that we're really proud of.
So one thing I already mentioned the STEM scholars, and that's something that we're really proud of because that's an immersive. I mean, the students actually have a project that they own. They work with our faculty. They work with our students, so they have near peers. And then they produce something, actually give a presentation and do a poster at the end of the year. So that's a real tangible project that they have to work on. I think the other piece because you asked about the relationship, last year, the community college system and the four-year university system, we developed a comprehensive universal pathway program where now the 60 credit degrees, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the 60 credit degrees that they get it was really important to us that all 60 of those credits counted towards a four-year degree if students wanted to do that. So that's a pretty strong thing. I mean, I've talked to people in North Carolina and Arizona, and they were very interested that we were doing this because they're not. And so that's a program where you get this all your. So if you get that 2-year degree, then you only need to do 60 more credits to get a 4-year degree. So there's no wasted credits in there, and that's important because credits are time and money, right? So and then the last piece is our dual enrollment program, as was mentioned earlier, is really, really growing. That's thriving, where students. We grew, our chemistry alone went from 150 to 900 students in the last 3 years. So that's another thing that's super important to us, to build that connection. One thing we weren't doing a good job of 5 years ago was taking those dual degree students and connecting with them, right? We were just offering the class and that was that. So now we're very intentional about connecting with those students. We sometimes bring them onto campus to do labs even, right? And so that's something that's important to us, just to build this connect and build this network that we've been spending the last 45 minutes talking about.
This is awesome. I want to take a quick second to open it up to see if anyone has any questions. None? All right. Please give our panelists a round of applause. This has been some excellent information. Again, I'm like you guys. I feel like within our region, we have some of the best higher ed institutions that do partner, and we see it on a daily basis. I know I sit on calls all the time with Dr. Tenney. I sit on calls all the time with North Shore Technical. I sit on calls all the time with Dr. Wainwright. And it was funny, in a previous life, we actually participated in the girls at STEM on Tulane's campus. So this is kind of full circle for me. But again, the partnerships are important, especially partnerships with our K-12 system, because our kids need to know what they have available to them, right? What options. I love that Tulane, you don't have to declare the major until you're a sophomore. I remember when I went to LSU, it wasn't that way. You kind of need to declare, right? And that's a lot of pressure, because what ends up happening is you declare, you take a class and realize this is not for me. So then you have to jump through hoops to switch your major. So again, excellent information about the partnerships, about what you're offering. And I just want to thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.